Today, I'm at Allenbanks in South Northumberland, and I'm here for two reasons. The first is that my original plan for the day went slightly awry, of which more in a few minutes. So the second reason, which has kind of been forced upon me because of that failure of the first plan, is to have some fun. I've obviously come out here with no preconceptions. I didn't plan on coming here today, so that's kind of been forced upon me. And I think that's refreshing. I think every so often it's worth going out without particularly planning what you're going to do for the day. And just seeing where the muse takes you. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go and find my first spot. And I have seen a few things on the short walk to where I am now. So I'll see you in a few seconds. This is my first shot. Very straightforward, just a yellow flower. I'm shooting with my 40 to 150mm lens, my telephoto. I'm focusing very precisely on the flower head, shooting at f4, so the maximum aperture for this lens. And that's throwing the background nicely out of focus, which means that the only sharp bit of the photo is the flower. And that means your eye's immediately drawn to that. And that's the effect that I'm after in this case. Now today is good for flower and detail photography because it's very soft light, it's very overcast, which is why I changed my plans today. I originally started on Hadrian's wall at Steel Rig, but clouds rolled in from the west, bringing with them rain, and I got very damp, which is why I look slightly dishevelled at the moment. So I changed my plans, and I do that when I'm out shooting. If the weather changes and what I'm shooting doesn't suit those weather conditions, I'll change my plans rather than make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. Which is why I came to Allenbanks, because I think because it's deciduous woodland, there's more scope for getting some decent shots here than there would have been in open moorland on Hadrian's wall. So I'm going to get the shot taken. I'll of course put it on screen after this, and I'll go and find another spot. This is as far as you can go along this initial riverside path. Thanks to storms, there have been one or two landslides, so very sensibly the National Trust have fenced it off, so you can't get any further. And that's a real pity because it was a really interesting walk. There was a wonderful footbridge, so you get across to the other side of the river. That was washed away by a storm. In fact, there were two, both of which were washed away. So I'm going to have to turn back. However, I found this shot, which I kind of quite like for some reason. There used to be an uphill path here too, and that's been cut off by sort of willow fences. And I like that sort of progression. So I'm going to get that shot. I've gone for a vertical composition again because of that progression of the various fences up the hill, as well as the steps that used to be there. I've also fitted my polarizer just to knock off some of the, or to reduce some of the glare from the leaves, so you can see the more intense green behind. So I don't think it's going to be a great shot, but yeah, it appeals for some reason. So I'm going to get it taken, and then we'll turn around and we'll head back the other way. What I forgot to mention was how awkward it was to get the tripod and camera set up. I wanted to poke the lens of the camera through a gap in the fence, but I wanted the tripod to give me a stable platform because I was going to shoot a long exposure, or I have shot a long exposure rather, and that's because there's some movement in the leaves and the trees, and I wanted to give a sense of that movement, which I thought was a nice visual contrast with the solid willow fencing and the trunks of the trees. I'm down by the river now, and I can't believe how little water there is actually in the river. Well, I can, because it's been such a hot summer here in Northumberland, very little rain, and that's obviously a consequence of that. But anyway, I found this shot. I don't think it's that great. I suspect it won't end up in the portfolio. But sorry, there's a wagtail making its presence known just over there. Anyway, I don't think this is a portfolio shot, but it's okay. I think I'm struggling today. I think everything's looking a bit tired. It's late summer now, or it's getting towards late summer. All the leaves are looking a bit brown and a bit sort of despondent. But this sort of works for a day like today. And I think the weather hasn't helped, it being so overcast and a bit gloomy. That said, the sun is trying to poke through. But yeah, you get days like that, at least I do. However, there are days where ideas just sort of fizz and happen and everything sort of ticks along quite nicely. Today isn't one of those days. But this shot will do for the moment. I'm not sure whether to go for a long exposure or a short exposure. The leaves are bobbing about in the breeze a bit, and I'm not sure whether I want them to be still or blurred. I would like the water to be a little bit blurred. There are sort of flecks of foam that could look quite interesting if they're sort of blurred with a long exposure. So I'm going to do a short exposure, fast exposure, a long exposure. I may even end up blending the two, I'm not sure yet. But whatever happens, it'll be on screen after this. Lunchtime. I swear I could live on these oat bars. Well, probably get quite boring after a while, but they are fantastic for keeping you going during the day. I won't mention who makes them, but I'm sure you can probably work that out from the colouring of the wrapper. I said that the leaves were looking brown before. They're still green, but it's a very sickly green. It's not the wonderfully vibrant green that you get spring, early summer. It's definitely past its best now. But that does mean that autumn is gradually on its way, so I always look forward to that. I'm going to finish off the afternoon by shooting these horsetails, which are a very striking plant. They're ancient too. Well, not these particular specimens, but the line of horsetails. They're far older than mankind, more than the dinosaurs even. I think, I'm going to have to check this. There's no internet connection here, so I can't do that right now. But I think the original horsetails date back to the Carboniferous. So very, very ancient, but wonderful at the same time. I've switched to my 60mm macro. I'm going to focus on the stem, shoot wide open-ish, possibly. That's going to minimize depth of field. It's a very three-dimensional plant, so the fronds which radiate outwards from the stem are going to be unsharp. But I think that could be quite interesting. I think it's going to give a nice sort of soft feel and a nice, again, visual contrast to the sharp stem. Plus it's quite breezy, so that helps me get a fast enough shutter speed too by shooting wide open. So I'm going to get this shot, and then we'll call it a day after that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, even if it wasn't the video I planned to shoot originally. But I do that a lot. I do shoot to the light. So if the light changes, which it did this morning, I'll go and do something different, something that suits the light, which in this case was woodland. If you did like it, please do like it. Please do comment below if you have any, well, comments or questions or queries. Happy to answer those. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Now, next week, I'm going to try something a bit different, something I haven't tried for a long time, a technique. I'm going to have to practice it though, which is always a good thing, always good to refresh old skills. So I'll leave you in suspense. In the meantime though, hope you have a very pleasant week, and I'll see you in 7 days' time.